Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Player's Take, episode 348. I'm your host, Justin Simone, joined by my co-host, Montrell Rice. We're back. It's been about 3 weeks, I think, since we posted an episode. It's actually been 4 since I was on the show. So we apologize for the weird scheduling last month or so. Montrell's been going through some stuff personally that we don't need to detail here, but and I had a travel snafu as well a couple weeks ago, so we ended up taking a couple weeks off basically. So, but we are back, and we're here to talk about video games. Montreal, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing as well as I could be, all
Yeah,
things considered. But
understood.
we're gonna go. We're gonna keep going.
All right, well let's take a couple hours here and just push it all away and get back into the world of video games. I think we're both we'll get into it, but haven't been playing that many games actually. So this would like to get back into the world of video games again. So I'm chomping at the bit to talk about stuff here with you. So let's do that. So let me just get through the rigmarole and we'll jump right in. We got a lot to cover, obviously, since we've been gone for a while. For those of you who haven't listened before, this is our weekly show where we talk about video games, video game news, and other topics pertaining to video games. We post at 6 a.m. Central Time on Fridays on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and your favorite podcast app of choice. And if you'd like to send us questions that we will answer on the show, you can do so by sending an email to the playerstake01 at gmail.com. All right, Montreal. So let's get into what we've been playing. You told me pre-show that you really haven't been playing much since the last episode, right?
But you say what? No, I'm sorry. I didn't
You
hear that
haven't been
part.
playing much since the last episode
Oh
we
yeah,
posted,
yeah.
right?
I haven't played anything since the solo episode.
Gotcha.
That chance
Well,
to.
there was one thing we didn't talk about that we did play. This was a while ago now, but if you remember Dota 2, we had a Dota 2 night with the boys. We played, I don't know, what, 5 games or something like that over the course of a Sunday evening. Um how did you like that? Did you enjoy yourself? Did you have fun when we were playing Dota?
um,
Um
I was having fun, but our friends weren't having fun.
Jet specifically wasn't. I was fine, honestly.
Yeah, I was having fun. But
Yeah.
I know, yeah, Jet was getting really frustrated, so it was kind of bringing down the vibes. And I was just like, yeah,
Yeah.
we can play League or something. Like,
Yeah. 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 But I'm down to play some more for sure. I don't know if Jet's going to join us or not, but I'm down to keep playing it for sure. But we're going to talk about League of Legends changes later in the show. But I don't know. We may end up jumping back on the League too. I don't know. But yeah, you played a bunch of different characters. We kind of swapped some things around. We tried different roles, different characters and stuff, and we got our asses kicked every game pretty much. But we had a one or two games that were okay from what I remember. And then we just started getting steamrolled actually after that. So that was good. But yeah, we did play some Dota 2. That was a while back now, but that was good. Other than that, for me, I was on a work trip for about a week, a little over a week actually, and I really only played one game while I was gone. I was playing Necess, which I think I brought that up. Last time I was on the show, I was playing this game. I got decently into it. I don't know. I haven't played it since I got back from the trip, and I don't think I'm going to pick this game back up again more than likely. But I got through. I played a lot of it and kind of got into the more robust elements of the game. Learning kind of how to get to the different biomes and stuff, and get different types of materials. The game has a very interesting progression to it where you really have to like go to each type of biome and make the gear that the materials from that biome makes basically. And that like level like sort of like levels you up. It's not a strict leveling system, but obviously you get more powerful gear, and then that kind of enables you to go to the next area and do that. And It's a cool game. I think this game would be a lot more fun with friends. Frankly, playing it by myself, it gets a little gets a little lonely actually because you're just doing a lot of you're doing a lot of running around, kind of gathering shit, but there's like NPCs running around and stuff, and they'll talk to you, but they're not like very well fleshed out NPCs. They just feel like kind of like these like dead robots, basically walking around. So I can get kind of lonely in the game, and eventually I just, when I got back, I kind of moved on to other stuff. But so I was playing that. If you like survival stuff, if you're somebody who likes like Terraria or something like that, this is kind of, from what I understand, is kind of like an isometric version of Terraria. So it's cool. The combat's not bad. There's some fun elements to it, but I don't. It's a game that didn't super hold my attention for a long time. Um, and then when I got back, I was really busy up through like Thanksgiving. Like I was doing shit every day. I really didn't game at all almost during that period. I was basically playing Wuthering Waves, like, and that was pretty much it. But then Thursday night and Friday, I finally got like some time to just sit down and like kind of play. Um, and I got back into Against the Storm, which I've had kind of two different periods of being really into this game. And I am into it again. This game is a fucking obsession when I play it. It's just like, this game is like so well made. Like the way all the systems interlock together, and the different like ingredients make different materials or different, food or clothing or items and stuff like that for your villagers. It just works so well. It makes so much sense. The game is like, just, I don't know, it's just a really good game. And I've been playing this basically for the last week or so pretty regularly. I'm actually trying to like progress the game now and like get deeper into it. And I'm pretty far. I got through the gold seal. There's 8 seals in the game, and they kind of unlock like a new level of difficulty basically when you beat them. And I've done the gold seal. I'm working on the platinum seal now. I think I may be able to do that soon, and then there's 3 more seals after that, and I think that's like the end of the game. So
Okay.
I'm having a lot of fun with it, but it's I really recommend this game to people if you want like a city builder that's like challenging, you know, where it's not just like a chill, sit down and city build kind of game, where you actually want the game to be like have progression and challenge you in some way. This game is like perfect. It is literally a roguelike city builder in that regard, and it's just, I don't know, it's so good. I love this game. There's 2 DLCs as well that have come out since the last time I played it. Keepers of Stone and Night Watchers, I believe. They introduced 2 new races, the frogs and the bats, and then they also introduced a bunch of new biomes as well, which come with like different things on them that you can interact with now. They actually added like a new raw material gathering place, which is basically like fishing holes where you can like fish at a pond, basically, which is really cool. That actually mechanically works in an interesting way too, because most of the gathering camps, you just like you send your little villagers to them, and they'll spend like, I don't know, 10 seconds gathering at a node, and they'll get like one, let's just say mushrooms for instance, they'll get like one mushroom when they gather, right? At the fishing holes, they will not return their materials until the fishing hole has been completely exhausted. So this works a little differently. It can be difficult to use them because if you need food immediately, they're gonna wait until they've used all their node charges before they'll bring anything back, basically, which can make them difficult to use if they're your only source of food. You know, so there's some cool stuff there. The new races are interesting. The bats are a little bit more mechanically unique than the others. You cannot favor them, and which basically like ups their happiness level essentially while degrading the other 2 races you have.
Mhm.
Um, you can't favor them, and then they also will not live in normal houses with the other races either. They're like kind of like the shut in. They hate everybody. race. Essentially, they think they're superior, basically. So they can be a little tough to use actually because of that. Because you have to build um their houses in order to house them. So yeah, it's interesting. It's cool. There's these new wrinkles the game has added are really cool. I will say the one thing, this doesn't affect me because I never beat the game, but for people who have beaten the game, the DLCs didn't add any new content other than like new biomes and races. So there's no more progression added beyond the initial base game's progression. So um, I hope with whatever DLC they come out with next that maybe they kind of address that, because I think for people who've beaten the game, that's probably a little bit disappointing to come back. To come back and all it is like, oh, it's another new race, and it's like, well, I already beat the game, so it's like I'm just going and playing for fun at this point. So yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing though. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna stick with Against the Storm because we're coming up to the end of the year, and I do want to play some other stuff. Like I still can't get my head around playing KCD2 for some reason. I don't know. There's just something about like giant, massive RPGs right now that it's just not jiving with me,
Mhm.
really. But I do want to get to that game. I want to be able to talk about it somewhat when we talk about Game of the Year later in the month. So I don't know. I may jump into that soon as well. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. So, um, Marshall, let's jump into news. We got a lot of news to talk about since we haven't covered things in a while. Um, I think you talked about this on the last episode because I think this was announced on the last one that you put up was the Steam Machine. Um, that was announced from Valve along with
Did I
the
talk
Steam Frame.
Yeah, did I talk about that?
I don't
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that
it's
was weeks these last
It
couple
was
weeks were like a
weeks
fucking
ago, bro.
blur.
Yeah, it was weeks
Yeah.
ago. So we're gonna talk about it anyways. I know I haven't talked about it on the show, so at a minimum, we'll have new thoughts there. But yeah. So Valve is coming out with their own living room box. Basically, they're not calling it a console. And a lot of stuff has come out about this since it was announced. So there's a little bit more wrinkles to talk about here. But basically, this thing is going to be kind of looks like a small baby Xbox actually. It's just basically a cube. And it's got the similar form factor to the Xbox Series X, but it is shorter than than the Series X. And there's a new controller that they showed, which I will say looks a lot better than their first attempt at a controller. And then the Steam Frame, which is going to be a new VR headset coming. This is all coming next year. They didn't announce pricing for any of this. However, there's been a lot of they actually invited a lot of media to see this thing, and they kind of went over specs and stuff like that. So there's a lot of speculation out there about pricing. Digital Foundry did a large hour long video basically talking about this thing, talking about specs, talking about their speculation on pricing, what they think pricing is, and they were thinking that so basically this thing is between I think they said it's between um it's between a Series S and a Series X in terms of power is kind of what they said.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
yeah, and they were thinking with what is in there, it's going to be about $500, $400 or $500. However, there's been a lot since then that has come out where it sounds like Valve did not confirm anything, but they did kind of come out and discourage that notion that it would be a $400 or $500 machine and that it would be more premium priced, like maybe in the $800 range or something like that. So people are thinking this thing is going to cost a little bit more than we initially thought. And given that, so this is kind of how I feel about this. I was very excited about this thing when they first announced it. With all the stuff that's come out since, it's definitely tempered my excitement. Because to me, I think Valve is one of the few companies actually positioned to challenge the status quo of Sony and Nintendo, with new gaming devices, because they already have a storefront in Steam built established, very popular, extremely like widely adopted, by PC gamers. So they already have that built. So they have tons of games on there. So really all they need is hardware to come in and compete with these guys. Necessarily. But at a price point of $700 or $800, this thing has no shot of competing with PlayStation, realistically to me. And that's kind of disappointing because with Microsoft, Microsoft's falling off a cliff basically, at this point. And their next hardware, I mean, we're feeling like it's going to be $1,000 or more, based on what we've talked about in the past on the show. Um, and I think they're going to be pricing themselves out of the console market, realistically speaking. So that leaves a bit of a vacuum, but I don't necessarily think this thing is going to fill that vacuum really. It sounds like this thing's actually going to more compete with what Microsoft is going to do going forward than what Sony's going to be doing going forward. So given that, if that's the case, then this thing is kind of more of a niche hardware offering. The other thing is, like, we don't know where this thing's going to be sold either. So the only other way they're going to compete with Sony and Nintendo really is getting their hardware into big box stores like Target, Walmart, and Amazon, stuff like that. Which has not been the case with the Steam Deck so far. Like, that is, you really can. I'm pretty sure you can still only buy that through Valve directly. So given that, without that level of exposure, I don't think this thing has. It's not going to be a huge seller. Is, I guess, my point of view on it. I can see it being a companion for PC gamers who want something in their living room. But I don't think it's going to pull console gamers away from PlayStation, or even Microsoft, necessarily. Like, this may be the landing spot though for Xbox players potentially, as they transition away from Xbox hardware and the Xbox environment. They need to go somewhere, and this could be the place they land potentially. So that's the interesting part of it. But yeah, this thing seems positioned more to compete with Microsoft than Sony. So, Montreal, what do you think about the Steam machine?
I think it's. I didn't know it was gonna be. I didn't know the specs were in between the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X. I thought
Yes.
it was gonna be more powerful than
Nope.
that.
It is not.
So that being said, I mean, yeah, it should be positioned around $400 or $500. I
Yeah.
actually think it still has a good chance of. I think this would be a good opportunity for people who don't want a PC, but they
Yeah.
can get into the PC.
Yeah.
Problem comes into play where Xbox's new console that's coming out, they already claim that it's going to be like PC like as well.
Yeah.
So I wonder how they're going to deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Um, I think the next few years are going to be very interesting to see where things land, because we're getting a PS6 and it sounds like it's coming the end of 2027, so like 2 years from now,
Mhm.
basically. And we got this thing coming early next year, and it's going to be obsolete by the time PS6 comes out, basically from like a power standpoint. I'm just surprised they decided to go so low power with it, you know. Um and I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. I don't really know what the thought process was there necessarily, especially if they're going to charge, as much as we're thinking here, like $700 or $800. I just, like, it doesn't sound worth it for that price. Um, so, but I mean, Valve's not Sony, dude. Like, we do have to, like, consider that as, like, Sony has relationships with, AMD going back decades, at this point, and they have more leverage, I think, than a company like Valve does, who's kind of new to the game of hardware, in a lot of ways. So that could be, like, kind of rearing its head, in some ways, to some degree as well with pricing. So yeah. What about the controller, Montreal? Have you looked at it at all? It's got the little mouse pads under the analog sticks.
Yeah, I can see that going bad really quickly, to be honest with you. I can see people's fingers slipping and doing that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
It still looks cool. I think they're like gun ho on keeping the mouse pad thing, but I don't know, man.
I
I
like
just
the
rather
mouse pads. I
you
just
do.
agree with you though. Like, is it gonna be awkward? Like, are you gonna be like artificially stretching your thumb so you're not touching the mouse pad? You know, where you're gonna end up straining yourself when you're playing. Like, I don't know. It doesn't happen with the Steam Deck, but with where your hands are, generally speaking, like it's more natural. It feels right. With the Steam controller, I don't know. Like your thumb's gonna be going like directly over the corners, probably. You know. Um. So I don't know. I do think it's a little weird. Um. I'm not sure how well it's gonna work. The Steam Frame, though, a VR headset. I mean, neither of us really care that much about this stuff, so I don't really have anything to say about it. Um, I'm probably gonna get a VR headset at someday, and this one definitely looks cool and looks interesting. But in the short term, I'm not really too concerned about it personally. So
Yeah, me neither.
fair enough. Well, yeah, it's coming in 2026, early 2026. So I'm sure they'll announce pricing relatively soon. I would think within the next month and a half, probably. I mean, they need to open up pre-orders at some point. So um, early 2026 is a month away. So we'll see what comes of that. All right, moving on. We do have a couple Microsoft stories as well. So Montreal, I don't know how much you've been following the PC market with the RAM shortage situation that is being.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
Yeah,
My
so
friend told
just
me like RAM, he was trying to get 32 gigs of RAM. That's like $1,000 or something
yeah,
crazy like
bro,
that.
dude, we can get into a whole different discussion outside of video games, but I'm just gonna lay the groundwork here. So basically, to do it, to put this in the most basic terms, this is much more complicated than that. I really recommend you guys go read about it or watch some YouTube videos about it, some coverage on it, to kind of understand this at a more deeper level if you want to know more. OpenAI is, you know, they've gotten a lot of investment recently from other companies, Nvidia, AMD, fucking Intel, whoever the fuck, and they're planning to build tons of data centers in the next several years, and as such, they need server hardware, and servers require RAM in order to operate. So they have basically gone to the RAM manufacturers, a Samsung, what are their names? I always forget their names. Let's see, Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron. Those are the three who manufacture RAM. They're literally they own these three companies manufacture 95% of the world's RAM, basically. So OpenAI went to two of them. I think it was Samsung and I think it was SK Hynix. They went to two of them and basically came to a deal where they are going to be getting 40% of their output for the next several years, basically, which amounts to 40% of the, like the amount they ordered is equivalent to 40% of the world's output of RAM for the next several years. So obviously that uh large amount of RAM being like basically put on layaway for several years is severely impacting the market supply of RAM, and consumer electronic supply is particularly like gaming RAM and stuff like that. That is like lowest on the food chain when it comes to prioritization of RAM. So like building your own PC right now is a fucking nightmare because the RAM, yeah, like you said, your friend mentioned, like, dude, RAM has gone up double to triple the price in the last 2 months because of this deal, essentially, and it's only going to get worse from here as supply gets even more constrained. And this is obviously going to affect console manufacturers as well because they need RAM for their consoles. So the story here is, this was leaked from Moore's Law is Dead. We've referenced him a few times recently. He's becoming a very big insider with the at least from the console hardware standpoint. And he has claimed that Xbox Series X and S prices are likely going to raise in price again for a third
Why?
time because of this RAM situation.
Oh my god.
Because Microsoft basically manufactures Xboxes to order now. Like they don't have a supply of them lying around the way they used to. They've been doing this for the last few years now, and as such, RAM prices going up is making this harder for them to make their consoles. So that's going to get passed on to the consumer. What he did say is that Sony actually planned ahead for this. They saw this coming. Which this is funny that Sony is like they've done this a few times in recent years with these kind of situations. With the tariffs, for instance, as well. They've kind of read the tea leaves very well. I feel like they actually ordered a huge amount of DRAM like earlier this year in anticipation of this happening, and have
They gotta
uh
have an insider. They gotta have
several
an
months.
insider.
They have several months supply. I think eventually they're going to get hit with this too, but at least for the next several months, there won't be an increase in price for PlayStation. It sounds like so. As
So
a result of this
Open
RAM
AI
situation.
is pretty much burning up all the RAM that we need.
Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry. But well, it's a crazy situation because um I find it interesting, because I mean, about monopoly laws and stuff in the United States and other countries, where basically a monopoly on selling a certain type of product is not legal, right? There can't be like one source of this stuff. It's interesting though, because this has never really happened before, that on the other side of the spectrum, that the idea of a buying monopoly, somebody who has enough money to buy up all of the supply of something for themselves to use it, um, that's not something that's ever really happened before. And we are here in a situation where a company is so large and has so much capital that they can simply just buy up all of the supply of something. And that feels like it should also not be legal, in my opinion. I don't know. Like,
Free market, man. What are you talking about?
but dude, there's laws against monopolies, right? Like selling monopolies. Like it seems like it should go the other way as well.
I agree.
Obviously, this isn't a true monopoly. They haven't bought up the full supply, right? It's 40% is what's reported, the number that's reported. But to the point though is the fact that they can influence prices this severely with how much they've purchased. Like they can manipulate markets basically with their buying power. And I don't know. I don't know how you feel about all this, Montreal. Like I am getting very like cynical about this stuff. To the point that like we're entering like end game capitalism. I feel like, you know, where we're starting to see, and we're going to start seeing crazy, crazy, crazy shit, because there is so much money concentrated in such a small number of people and organizations that they have the power to just wreck everything, because of how much money they have. They can literally influence markets with just their buying power and the decisions they decide to make, and I don't think it's a good thing, right? Obviously, like this sucks. Like my advice to people is like, if you want a console, buy it now. It's not going to get cheaper anytime soon. Like whatever we think the PS6 is going to cost is probably not true anymore. Like it's likely going to be higher. Um, because the speculation is that this shortage is going to last like at least 3 or 4 years, probably.
What?
Yeah, yeah, that's what people are talking about out there, man. Like, well, because the deal was for years. Like, it's the next several years of RAM manufacturing. That OpenAI basically reserved for themselves. So this isn't going to change. It's not like they're not magically going to start manufacturing double the RAM all of a sudden. So it's like this is just gonna be the world we live in for a while, you know.
I
Which
don't think I just think AI is such a mistake.
it is.
I don't
No,
think it's the
it's
next revolution like everyone thinks it is.
I don't think so either. I am very wary of it. Actually, I actually think it's like it's starting to remind me of like the .com bubble or thing and things like that with the way the money's moving around because I'll explain this a little bit. Like there's basically a circular movement of money happening between a handful of companies where like the US government invested in Intel and bought like 10% of their stock essentially. And um then we have AMD and Nvidia selling chips to OpenAI. So OpenAI is spending money, is like buying shit from them, and then Nvidia and AMD are reinvesting that money back into OpenAI. So there's this circular movement of money happening between these companies, essentially. Like think about it this way: like this isn't. I'm just making up numbers, but like think of it this way: OpenAI spends $1 billion on chips, right, from Nvidia. And then Nvidia is like, "Hey, OpenAI, we want to invest $1 billion in you." So they give that $1 billion back, basically. There's only been $1 billion of real money moved between the two companies. However, they're both reporting $1 billion in revenue, basically. So there's actually $2 billion in revenue being reported, but there's only $1 billion of real money moving back and forth. Um, so this is creating like fake revenue streams basically that aren't real. Like it's not real revenue being generated in the same way of somebody like buying something from someone. And it's the fact that it's circular is the problem because it's like one entity is sending money to the other and then that other one is sending it backwards to the first one. And AMD and Nvidia are also invested in Intel as well, I believe. And then Intel also invested in OpenAI is selling shit to OpenAI too. So it's like this huge fucking I think I was watching a video of Gamer Nexus and they called it the AI centipede basically. I was like, yeah, dude, this is fucking awful, bro. Like it's a scary situation. Like people are talking about AI bubble and I think it's a very real thing that people are talking about. Like this isn't like a joke. These guys are because like they announce these deals and then the stock market goes fucking crazy. Every time it happens and it's like it's at some point this isn't real. There's not real value being generated here. At a certain point it's just like made up um I don't know, like future value. And that's the other thing, the money hasn't even changed hands yet. This is just announcements of deals that are going to happen. Like they haven't even actually exchanged the money yet. But they're like planning to exchange it. So it's like I don't know, it's crazy, dude. We're in a crazy situation right now with this stuff, and it is unfortunately starting to affect hardware in a real way as well. So this is affecting Microsoft. This actually comes after a Bloomberg report from we missed this in October, where Jason Schreier detailed that the Microsoft CFO had a mandate for Xbox going forward that they have to maintain a 30% profit margin on everything going forward, which is where all of the layoffs and studio closures came from and game cancellations have come from the last couple of years. Basically, is that it was determined that those things couldn't reach that, essentially, and they were cut as a result. So yeah, Xbox is under it. I don't think Microsoft really wants. I don't think Microsoft cares anymore. They just want to make money. Like they're not here to shepherd Rare's little artsy fartsy project. They want games that make money is basically their goal, and that's what they're aiming for, and I think it's going to affect their output going forward. Unfortunately as well. So, yeah, things are not good for Microsoft, Montreal. what's your thoughts on all that? Sorry, I threw a lot of shit at you out there.
I knew about the fake money thing that was going on. I thought that was just
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That it's actually been allowed.
Yep.
Um, and I forgot. Did you also mention like Microsoft had a huge issue with them moving that money around, like
Well, they're
Nvidia and
part of it too. Them and Google, yeah, yes. They're like I said, if it gets real, it's really crazy. I don't know it all specific to that deep of a level, but you know,
yeah. I just think it's crazy. I think it's crazy that we're allowing it. I think it's crazy that no one's saying anything about it. Um, I think they call it the Magnificent Seven.
yeah,
Uh, I don't like where this is heading. This is reminding me, like, if you know history, it's reminding me of the Great Depression when that
yeah,
stock crash and everything like that. I think other countries are trying to prepare themselves for that, except us. We just keep investing and investing and investing into AI, and I don't think it's.
yeah.
I just
Well,
don't
it's
think it's
almost
good, man.
they keep like redoing the same thing to like prop the market up. You know, the stock market
Yeah,
basically, and like I assume eventually it's not going to work anymore, and there's the bottom's just going to fall out one of these days. You know. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I feel like we're rapidly approaching it. I don't know, man. It's we live in interesting times for sure. But yeah, Microsoft, I don't know, dude. I don't know, I don't even know at this point like what to say about them. Like they're not interested in being Sony. Like they don't want to be that anymore. Like that is clear. I think they just want to make as much money as they can off of the game properties that they own, you know. I kind of think that's where we're really at with them. So okay, moving on. NCSoft and Sony unveiled Horizon Steel Frontiers, which this is the MMO that we've talked about in the past that NCSoft has been developing for a while. It's an MMORPG in the Horizon universe. It is going to be taking place in, I believe it was, I want to say it was New Mexico or Arizona, in the southwestern U.S. There was some gameplay footage that was shown as well. Montreal, did you get a chance to check this footage out at all?
no, I did not get a chance to check
Okay. Well, I mean, it looks like a Monster Hunter game, basically. um, it's like groups of people hunting the giant, you know, dinosaur fucking robots.
Oh
From
yeah, yeah,
Horizon.
yeah. That I
Yeah,
did see that actually. I saw people on the Reddit of Monster Hunter complaining that they took some of the animations. It looked like they
yeah.
ripped them straight out of like Monster Hunter. That's what I heard. I'm not sure if it's true
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah. Well, what is going on, bro? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it looks cool. We'll see. I guess the thing is, it's not going to be on PlayStation. It's on PC and mobile
Yeah,
only,
yeah.
which is
Which
very
is
much
stupid.
puzzling. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I did see that, and um, yeah, it is kind of weird that they don't have a it yet. And according to them, they said PlayStation was actually cool with it or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because of the engine. The engine's called the Purple Engine, which is NCSoft's. Um, and I don't think that engine can run on PlayStation for whatever reason. So, but I'm actually looking at this footage right now. This game actually looks kind of rough. Looking at the footage on the
Hmm.
website, it is. Hold on, I'll put this in our in the chat here. If you go to combat, there's actually a few clips where the monsters like they get killed and then like there's like parts of them that are just floating in the air and stuff. Like the game is not it seems like the game is still buggy and this is the best footage they could come up with for their reveal, which is certainly interesting. But looking at it, I mean, yeah, it definitely looks like a combination of Horizon and Monster Hunter. So
Way better than
it's
Monster Hunter, though. I mean, not way better than Monster Hunter. It looks way better than Horizon.
yeah,
It's just certain animations, dude. Like, I don't know if you saw like the little. I don't know if that's a charge blade or not charge blade, but like a great sword. But it
Yeah.
looks like it's a long sword mixed with the great sword.
You're talking about when the boar charges with like
Yeah,
the log in its mouth or whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, dude. 100%.
Like
Um
it just looks weird. Like I
they
don't not
either
weird.
they either stole the animations or they just were heavily inspired, quote
Yeah,
unquote,
I think they
you
may
know.
have been heavily inspired because even the camera angle, what the camera does, is like similar to
Yeah.
you know.
Well, the character's like vibrating basically almost too when they're like holding the blade and charging it. You
Yeah.
know, in the same way Monster Hunter does it. Like, I don't know.
Well, you remember they did. Gorilla did say Monster Hunter was the inspiration behind Horizon.
Right. Right, but if I mean, Horizon doesn't have a weapon like that, you know, like
Yeah,
normal Horizon games. So there's no swords. Like you don't have a long sword, you know. So this is like a new thing that they're introducing, and if you look at a lot of the rest of it, I mean, a lot of it's like the UI and stuff. I mean, is ripped right out of Horizon, you know. So
yeah.
like they just took that and put it in here too. Um, so I don't know. This game's interesting. I'm certainly gonna follow it. Um, the fact that it's on a PlayStation, I do think is like fucking weird as hell. I mean, like what the fuck? It's a fucking Horizon game, you know? Like, but maybe it'll come there at some point. I'll certainly be interested in checking it out. I'm assuming this is gonna be free to play. Um, if it's not, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna want to pay for this, but yeah, it looks a little rough right now, personally, from what I can see. Um, I don't think the parts like blowing off and stuff are really working very well, like when the monsters explode or whatever. Like some of the pieces fall right, and then some of them are just like stuck in the air. Some of them just disappear entirely. You know, there's not like an animation or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't. Did they say when this game is coming? Um, no, it doesn't look like it. So, um, So yeah, it may be next year, maybe 2027. We'll see, I guess, on that front. But
It
I
does
mean,
look pretty
if
cool though. But they
yeah,
got
are
dual
you
swords.
interested?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
I just don't want it to be like mobile like if that makes sense, but I think it is cuz
it's gonna be. Yeah, it's definitely going to be mobile. Um. So, all right. Well, we'll certainly check that out when it comes. All right, Macho. This one's for you and me. Uh, it was confirmed in earnings call for Neil Falcom that Trails in the Sky second chapter is remakes coming September 2026. We called it. We called it, bro. We were totally on top of this one from the jump, you know? Like I knew they were fucking lying, bro. You know? You
I
remember when
will
the game came out and they were like, "Oh, we're not sure if we're going to do the second game, you know?
yeah,
Depends
you
on
know.
how the first one does, you know?" Fucking lying bastard.
You know, I think what I am upset about is wait, do we have I still not logged into the doc. But on the doc, do you have anything about the Game Choice Awards? I don't want
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'll save for that then.
Yeah. But well, I mean, are you excited about this game though?
I am excited about this game. I can't wait to play it, but I can't play any other games right now. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
waiting for it next year.
Yeah. I mean, this will be a day one purchase for me for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
this is instantly rocketed up to one of my favorite series right now. So I'm very
I heard
excited
this
for it.
one is the best one though.
I have heard that too, which is a little disappointing. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to play the rest of them. So I don't know. I mean, like, what's best mean? You know, like if these are like 100%, are like the other games like 90%? You know, it's like
From what I'm hearing from the fans, there really isn't. I mean, I think one of the games are really bad. I can't remember which one, but
yeah,
uh, as far as like if you want the peak Tales experience, or not Tales, but Trails experience,
yeah.
um, this one is like peak story from what I heard.
Okay, gotcha.
This one or the third. They said a lot of people like the third one is. which is the end of this trilogy.
Yeah.
I think that one's really good too, though.
Okay. Well, I'm very much looking forward to it. Um, I don't know. It's just this was the game that I like kind of came out of nowhere for me. Like surprised me. Like I knew it was coming out, but when I played it, I just like I don't know. I couldn't. I guess we can like shoot this into nominations because that was the next story I had was
Yep.
the Game Awards. Um, is Yeah, it's just this is a game that like really surprised me this year in terms of how much I enjoyed it, and frankly, like I think it's the game I liked the most all year.
It's my game of the year. I'm sorry. Like it's my
Yeah,
game of the year, bro.
I think so too, and I think the Game Awards, and I put the nomination page on in the chat for you too, but I think the fact that this game didn't get nominated for best RPG is criminal.
Robbed. Robbed. They got robbed, dude. This
Yeah,
game got robbed. Not only that, it has the highest rating. I think it's higher rated on Metacritic than fucking Expedition 33.
yeah, yeah, which makes sense.
So
Um,
I don't understand. Like, okay, so I'm looking at this best RPG, right?
Yep.
I'm
Avowed's
gonna
in
be
there.
realistic, right? I'm gonna be so real with you.
Yeah.
Two of these deserve to be on there. Kingdom Come
Yeah.
Deliverance and obviously Expedition 33.
Yeah.
Everything else, ass. Outer
Well,
Worlds,
the
ass.
nominees are Avowed, Monster Hunter Wilds, and Outer Worlds 2 are the other ones, right?
Yeah.
And like I didn't play Avowed, but bro, nobody. Why is this here? Nobody was talking about like literally nobody. This game didn't have any buzz at all. Like it came and went like wet fart. Everybody, even the people I saw who played it were like, "Yeah, the game's okay." Like,
Yeah,
like
that's
why
all
is it
I
in
heard
this?
too. That's all I
Yeah,
heard too. Oh, the game's
yeah,
it's cool. Like, it's okay. That's
yeah.
it.
Like Wilds and Outer Worlds 2 I can kind of understand, but like Avowed
No,
just sticks out to
no.
me
Outer
is
Worlds
like
just came out, dude.
no, I
There's no
know.
way it's
I
game of the
know.
year.
I know. And while there wasn't a lot of buzz for that game either, you know. And Wilds, as much as like we did enjoy it at launch, dude, the situation with PC is still going on right now. I'm
Well, the
sorry, like
well the
we
content
need to hold
creep
games
is
accountable for
yeah,
things like that, you know?
in the content and the difficulty, like it just didn't feel like a Monster Hunter game. It felt like a Monster Hunter game up to a certain point where it's like I'm only playing half of the Monster Hunter
Yeah,
I'm only of the game or whatever. So
right.
uh but yeah, Trails of the Sky not being on here, someone needs to have a conversation with who chose this category because this seems like bought. I mean, Xbox
Well,
has
it's like
two
a
games.
judge panel, dude. Like it's like there's like a whole panel that decides who these nominees are, you know? And none of them played Trails. That you want to know what the answer is, Montrell? Is this is why I hate these awards? Is because nobody on the fucking panel played Trails, probably, you know? Because it's a fucking obscure JRPG, you know? But these games can't get represented because of shit like that. You know, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. But it's like, dude, Avowed shouldn't be on here. It's not a good. It's not that good of a game. You know,
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
agree.
It's like, I mean, looking through the rest of the nominees, like Game of the Year, we got Claire Obscure, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, and then Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. You know,
Yeah.
and I don't know, like, dude, Death Stranding 2 better not win. Sorry. It just better not win. It is not anywhere near as good as the first game. I'm sorry.
Really? I didn't.
It's just not.
Okay.
I was super disappointed with it. Like they lost the sauce in the second game for me. Like they lost track of what made it good, you know, the first
Mm,
game.
okay.
um they made the second game way too easy. Like it's super easy game, you know. Like you remember in the first game, like early on you would have a lot of difficulty like moving around and even just like walking, you know,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like that's all gone in Death Stranding 2 for the most part. Like it's so straightforward, like unfortunately. Like there's just very little challenge to the game, you know. And that kind of ruined it for me, you know. So I don't know. I mean, I can get it for people who you know I don't know. I didn't even really like the story that much, if I'm being honest, though. Like, it's just a very, it's like a well-made game, but it's like under the surface, like under the hood, there's a lot of issues, with it. So the rest of these, I'm not like super offended by though. Honestly, everybody loves Hollow Knight.
Yeah,
Um,
Hollow Knight's okay.
yeah. Are there any other categories that are jumping out to you?
Uh, there was one category actually. Oh, best action game, and everyone's saying Ninja Gaiden 4. Hard disagree. It better go to Hades 2. I didn't even play Hades 2. Ninja Gaiden 4 would not win. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Ninja Gaiden 4 did not win. I'll give it to Shinobi over Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden has a lot of problems that the Ninja Gaiden community themselves are just completely ignoring, and it's
Yeah.
annoying the hell out of me.
Why is Doom on best action game?
I,
Battlefield? What?
I don't know, man.
What are we talking about here? Where's first person shooter? Is there no FPS category? There isn't. No, there isn't a FPS category. Okay. Whatever. Action adventure. Death Stranding 2's on best action adventure. Like that, I don't, that's weird. This is weird. These are weird categories. I've never been a I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the way they do these awards. I've never have
Yeah,
been.
I think they should do something better than than this.
Hmm.
I think they need like a new panel or something like that, or something, man. Because yeah, Trails not being on here, probably one of the.
I don't think Trails is on anything, by the way.
It's not on anything, man.
Yeah, which is
And it's like the same 5 games for like almost every category. I keep seeing Ghost of Yotai. I keep seeing,
yep. Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, and
Yeah. Kingdom Come Deliverance too.
yeah, yeah, best audio design. Yep, Death Stranding again. Ghost of Yotai.
Yeah.
Uh, like it's like
Yeah.
they only played 5 games this year, and they were like, "Whoop, these are the
Yeah.
5 games." Like,
Yeah,
like
exactly, bro. Well, like best sim/strategy game has Sid Meier's Civilization 7. What are we talking about? That game has been an absolute fucking disaster this year. Like, what are we talking about? You know? I don't know. It's like if I was on the committee or whatever the fuck it is, panel for choosing these games, like I would just be like, guys, what the fuck are we doing, bro? Civ 7 has been like completely lambasted by the community all year, Um so I don't know. Announcements though, is the Game Awards are next week, right? I think a week from today. Is that right?
yeah,
So we will actually have a lot to talk about next week. With that. But are you expecting any big announcements this year?
uh, they s- they did hint that we're gonna probably get a Half-Life 3 announcement, but I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a new Total War game announced. I believe they said they announced Total War Medieval 3. And then they said there's another game. There's another Total War game they're going to be announcing at the Game Awards as well. So that's going to be coming. Do you think Sony will be there though to announce anything? Show off more Heretic Prophet uh footage, maybe a gameplay reveal.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. I'm not really looking forward to this game. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. This, besides all the shit I've been going through, this was like one of the worst announcements I've ever seen this year, from the game announcements this year. I think last
Yeah.
year they did a really good job spreading everything out, but this year was like really bad.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, you mean like announcements in general, like new
Yeah,
games?
announcements in general in games and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, there was a whole state of play that we didn't even talk about that happened a couple weeks ago. Um, was the Japan one?
Oh my god, that was so crazy.
um, the presentation of it was cool, but yeah, there was nothing interesting really shown, unfortunately, at it. So yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you. I think it's just one of those things, man. Right now, I think games just take so long to make that um announcing them anytime before they're like beyond pre-production is a huge mistake nowadays. I feel like, you know, your game just becomes like it don't because you've created a timeline where your fan base is going to resent you, at a certain point because they're like, you know, um, where's the game, bro? Where's the game, bro? Why isn't the game out yet? And they're doing that for 5 years, and eventually they're just going to be annoyed with you, that you announced it so early. So I kind of agree with you. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what big announcements we had this year because like E3's gone. That time of year is kind of weird now. Um, and Yeah, it's just tough. So I don't know. We'll see next week. Hopefully, maybe the Game Awards can save it. But this has kind of become the big show, though. I think for announcements, um, you know, recently. So we'll see what we get. All right, Montreal. This one's for you and me and DJ because he's been desperate for us to talk about League of Legends again. Riot did a couple posts in the last couple days detailing their plans for the 2026 game season. And they did a ranked post and then they did a gameplay preview post. So let's talk about ranked first. I mean, actually, let me ask you, where's your head at with League? Because you haven't played in a minute, basically
Yeah,
since that Dota night. But
yeah.
otherwise, I mean, we've been off League for months, right? So
I definitely can tell you I'm playing it right now. I'll be honest with you. I am not in the headspace to play League of Legends right now. So,
okay, I understand.
uh, but from all the changes I saw, it looks like they're actually making a lot of quality improvements to the game.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how I feel about the minion thing that they're going to be
Okay.
doing.
Well, let me get into the specific changes. We're gonna get in the nitty gritty here. We're gonna get nerdy. Like if you if you don't want to hear about League, sorry, bro. You deal with it. So for ranked autofill, they're changing the way autofill works. So they're going to try now. I can't believe they didn't do this before, but they're going to try if somebody gets autofilled on your team, whether it's you or somebody else, they are going to attempt to autofill that same role on the enemy team so that the teams are balanced in that way. If they cannot autofill on in that role to like make a match, they will autofill somebody else within the game on the other team. So one of the other roles. So there will be an autofill on both sides if there's an autofill going forward. Um, I think that's a very positive change. I can't believe it took them until 2026 to do something like this. It's just I don't really understand. I don't understand how we get here, dude. It's like it's weird. The game's been out for fucking 15 years. Like, what are we doing, bro? It's like I don't know. But yeah, but that is a positive change. I think that's a very good change because autofills and ranked fucking suck, dude. Having one of
Yeah,
those on your team was an auto loss. Like you are gonna lose. Um, but they're implementing another thing around autofill called Aegis of Valor. So you'll get double LP or full protection from LP loss on an auto-filled game if you get a mastery score of C or higher. Um, this is interesting in the sense of like I don't really understand why they're tying it to the score, the mastery score, because like you're going to be playing a role that you don't know how to play. So it's like you're more than likely you might struggle to get a C or higher, if you're playing like jungler or something like that you don't know how to play. Um but they also said that for supports and junglers, because those are the roles that are most often auto-filled. Supports and junglers who naturally play those roles, they're going to get Aegis of Valor as well because they're not going to get auto-filled very often, generally speaking.
Yeah.
So they're going to get that at times as well to balance it out. So they're not getting nothing for being the people who actually play the roles nobody wants to play. Dodging. This one pissed me off. So dodging is no longer going to reset your autofill status. If you dodge, your autofill will carry over to your next match. So basically, if you get autofilled and you dodge, you're going to be autofilled again. So basically, they're trying to encourage people to play those games out now, essentially.
Yeah.
And then this is the part that annoyed me. At master and higher, a dodge will count as a full loss in addition to the autofill carrying over and receiving a dodge cooldown timer. I don't know why they're only doing this at master and higher. Just do this everywhere. Do this to everybody. What the fuck? Like, dodging is a problem for us too. Like, I don't understand the thought process here. It's like irritating. I don't know. I mean, do you disagree with me? Like,
Uh, yeah. I just sometimes the dodging really doesn't bother me. It does and it doesn't bother me. Sometimes I just don't care. Um, it happens when I'm playing solo. It happens little to me. When I'm playing with you guys, though, it happens a lot. I don't know.
all the time.
I don't know why it's like that.
Yeah, and I
But
don't
yeah,
play solo, so I guess I don't get the other side where it never happens. Like, every time I play, it's happening. It's just, I don't know.
well, it happens in norms a lot because we're playing norms a lot
Yes,
sometimes.
true,
So
true. Which that's not gonna. They can't fix that because I mean nobody cares about norms. So, um, faster game time to game. They are reducing. Um, here we go. Let's see. They're like reducing the number of seconds it takes for animations to play out in the lobby. So they said they're shaving about 30 seconds off. Of that. So the games we'll get into a game faster in Champion Select. Also, you're not going to be able to ban an ally's hovered champion anymore. I actually think that's a good thing. Uh, you can't grief people anymore in lobby, so that's good. Um, skill distribution. They're adding a climbing indicator for people who are like not in their rank but are in the middle of climbing to their natural rank. Basically, so like you're like a silver in like a platinum lobby, something like that. They're going to add an indicator that you likely kind of belong in this rank, even though you're not there yet with your actual skill level. So that's what they're doing for ranked. I think largely fairly positive changes. Gameplay. This is the meat, though. The gameplay. So, um, they mentioned a few things. Time to game. They actually did more beyond just the lobby stuff. They are reducing spawn timers for minions. So they're lowering it to 30 seconds from 65 seconds. Monsters spawn at 30 is being brought. First monster spawns uh, are being brought forward by 45 seconds as well. So the minute and a half we spend AFK at the beginning of the game is going to be lowered to probably around a minute or so. At the beginning of the game. So games will be a little bit faster to get into overall, which is good. Objectives. Otacon. They are deleting Otacon. They are deleting feats of strength. Both of those are gone. So everything from last year that they implemented is out. They actually agree with us, Montrell, that there was objective bloat.
okay.
That there was too much going on, and the game has become too much about team fighting. They feel like sieging and split pushing are not super viable right now in the current state of the game, which
I would say
yeah.
well, I don't like split pushing. I am vehemently against split pushing.
Well,
Actually,
you're not gonna
actually,
like this next section.
okay. Split pushing can be good. You know what? I take that back because split pushing was punished. Like we couldn't punish when teams were fighting like
Yeah.
on one side of the map, like maybe a 4v5 or a 4v3
Mm-hmm.
or something like, or 4v3 or 4v2 or something like that, or 3v3, whatever.
Yeah.
It was very hard to punish the other side of the map because people could
Right.
just run over there instantly or whatever.
Yes. Right. Um, so yeah, they're getting rid of feats of strength. Baron is going to spawn at 20 minutes again, instead of 25. Um, what else are they doing here? Let's see. Epic monsters are going to be about, they said they're going to be 15% more durable, and they're increasing the durability gained from Dragon Vengeance, which stacks up the more dragon buffs a team has. Um, and then, quote, these durability increases have been paired with damage reductions in almost all cases. Our goal here is to make it easier for teams on the back foot to contest epic monsters or trade something meaningful on the other side of the map. So basically, if you're ahead on dragons, it's going to be harder for you to kill this dragon than the other team, essentially, is what that means. So they're trying to build in some comeback mechanics a little bit. I don't have a huge problem with this personally. Um, let's see. They are decreasing the gold you get for epic monsters, which really wasn't a whole lot to begin with. I guess Baron gives up 300, but they are buffing and nerfing the buffs they give, though. So Void Grubs and Rift Herald are going to have slightly stronger effects. Um, they're going to make comeback experience stronger for Dragons and Baron Nasher. So again, they're working on comeback mechanics for the losing team. And then scaling, epic monster scaling is going to be based on the level of all of champions in the game rather than the time of the game now. So it should be fairly consistent game to game now how strong Dragon and Baron are as the game goes on, basically. So
Okay.
Vision, this was an interesting one, actually. They're introducing a mechanic called Phalites, which are locations that if you place a ward in them, they grant extra vision beyond a ward's typical range. They're set at predetermined locations, with some spawning at the beginning of the game and more appearing when the rift transforms. So these are going to be like predetermined areas that you put vision. They're very likely going to be highly contested because they are predetermined locations, basically. Also, they're hastening the recharge rates of yellow trinkets so that they're available more consistently. And they're adding more Scryer's blooms to the map, which are the vision plants as well. So people who are not supports will be able to put more vision down. That is absolutely a positive. Pushing. So this is going back to what we were talking about, split pushing. They are actually doing a lot here. So they're adding a new thing called crystalline overgrowth to towers. It will build up over time, and when hit, will be consumed to deal an extra burst of damage to turrets. So their intent here is that any champion of any role or class should be able to make pushing progress if they find themselves in a good situation for it. So to your point, if you're on the other side of the map from your team and they're engaging in an objective, you can at least push and make some progress on knocking down towers, basically. They did say that since this is basically demolish for everyone, the demolish rune is going to be simplified to deal bonus damage to towers when you hit them 3 times in a row. I don't know how demolish works now, but that sounds very exploitable to me. I don't know how you feel about that. Like anybody
Uh,
with fast attack speed, like would take advantage of that. No,
I'm assuming it's gonna be a cooldown. Like you can't just do it anywhere.
that
Because
would make
demolish
sense.
now has a cooldown. Like you walk up to the
Okay.
tower and there's like it's like ding ding. It's like a timer actually.
Yeah.
Like ding
Yeah. Yeah.
ding ding. Pow,
Okay. That
deals you
makes
extra
sense.
damage.
Okay. And then plating. So this is an interesting change. They're gonna stick around permanently. There's no timer on plating anymore, and they're gonna be added to inner and inhibitor turrets as well. Going forward, so all 3 turrets outside of the final 2 at the Nexus are gonna have plating now. So basically, they're actually said they're doing this to spread out the way gold is distributed for towers for tower kills, so more people can get gold for them. But I think this is interesting as well because that's going to make towers more durable. Period. You know, which I think is an interesting change. Certainly. Um, let's see. Oh, this is another interesting thing. Home guards, which I believe is the speed buff you get in base. The enhanced movement speed from home guards will persist until you reach your outer turret, And once the laning phase is over, that will extend to the farthest pushed minion in each lane. So you'll be able to catch up to waves faster if you're trying to split push or regroup with your team more quickly if they're sieging. Um, this only works in the lane though. If you go into the jungle or the river, the speed buff will disappear. So
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't either. Um, it feels exploitable. I
Yeah, I
don't
don't
know.
know how I feel about that, man. That's
Um,
they might have
it
to nerf
also
that.
feels like a trap though, dude. You may put yourself in a position where you go way too far out the map too fast. And you can't get away, because it's only going to work until you get to your minion. So if you decide to retreat, you're going to be back to your normal movement speed.
Mm,
So it
yeah.
actually feels like something you're going to need to be very cognizant of later in the game, that you don't rush out of the lane too fast. So that's interesting. Let's see. Changes to turret rules. It's not super important. So yeah, minions. Yeah, you were mentioning this. So minions are going to spawn every 25 seconds instead of every 30 seconds after laning phase is over. Um, which is interesting. And in order to not inflate experience income and gold income due to this, one fewer melee minion is going to spawn when a cannon spawns. And then in the late game, minions will spawn every 20 seconds with one fewer caster minion as well. So that's interesting. There's going to be a lot more pressure on the map in general later in the game, which
Yeah,
is
it
which
looks
is
like
interesting.
it's designed to. Oh no, is it
Well, the
designed
the
to?
plating thing is going to elongate the game, you know. So I think this is almost to alleviate that in some way,
Well,
you know.
I feel like it's designed to stop. You remember that one guy that used to play Scion and just split push and he keeps dying? Remember that one
Yeah,
time I did that with Alawi? I just kept split pushing and dying. I died like 17 times and we
and we
still won
won.
that game.
Yeah, you killed the Nexus by yourself. Yeah, yeah. While we were like the whole game, we're like fighting the enemy team, and they're just ignoring you, or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a lot harder actually, which is interesting because they're talking about the split pushing thing. They want split pushing to be more viable, but I think it's going to make the game. I don't know. I guess we'll see how it plays out. I mean, dude, there's so many changes that the game's going to be really crazy. I think the first few weeks, frankly, of
I
next
mean,
year.
this is what we've
So
been asking for, though. We've been asking for
I
like
agree,
craziness,
dude.
you know?
No, I mean the reason we're not playing League is because it got stale this year, right?
Yeah. It got really
So
stale. It was really boring to play.
yes,
Everybody was picking the same champion. Everybody's picking the same items.
yep.
There wasn't
Everybody had the
any
same build every fucking game.
yeah, it wasn't any experimentation or anything.
Yep, yep.
I do like the changes they're gonna do with mid lane and top lane.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We're not. We got two
Okay.
more sections to get through. So let me do
Okay.
items next because this is they're adding 9 items. I'm not going to read all these, but are there any of these items that are sticking out to you? Hextech Gunblades coming back, Storm Razors coming back. I'm happy about that. Um, there's two in particular that I think I want to call out. The Mononomicon. This is a caster item for mid lane. I believe that you can activate to go into an empowered state for a short duration where you consume significantly more mana, but your spells are more powerful and have lower cooldowns. Um, and the extra damage, healing, and shielding on your spells scales with your mana, so you're rewarded for investing into it. This item sounds broken as all fuck. Um, to me, but I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Uh, wait. Can you read it one more time? Because I'm trying to look at this other page here, but I don't have it. I don't have it pulled up.
Oh, sorry. I'll put it in the chat. The one I'm looking at. This is the official like dev blog post. So it's an AP item you activate to go in an empowered state, and your abilities consume more mana, significantly more mana, is what it says for more that, and they're more powerful and have lower cooldowns. So I'm thinking of like Vigar when I'm thinking of this item. Like, bro, he's gonna activate this R and delete anybody on the enemy team. Like,
He already
is
does that.
is is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he already
Like,
does that.
I know, but it's even worse. He's gonna be able to do it to your tank now. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't.
Um,
I don't know. You're talking about the Scepter of Bonking, right?
No, Mananomicon.
And
It's in the
okay,
middle.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he is going to be able to blow up your tank. I don't know. It depends on how much like if they're going to put
Power
like
it
more.
gives.
Yeah, they're going to put more MR into the game and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. The other one is the Emblem of All Inning. This is a Zeal item intended for ADCs. So when you use your alt, you get ultimate ability haste, but when you use your alt, you get a burst of attack speed and guaranteed critical strikes for 3 attacks after you ult. Um, if you would have crit on these autos already, you get some bonus true damage. I actually think this item is going to be used by certain characters like Nocturne, maybe. Um, Something like that. That feels pretty powerful on somebody like him. I'm trying to think of what ADCs would want this. Um, Varus, maybe, actually, I could see. Um, Jinx could, Jinx maybe. I don't know. It's a little awkward. Um, Definitely not Caitlyn. Definitely not Jin. Definitely not like Ezreal. Zeri, possibly. I could see because like her ult is like an empowered. She just gets like super empowered or whatever. Um, I don't know. It's an interesting item. Any other ones jumping out to you?
Uh, no, not really. I mean, I'm glad Hextech Gunblade's coming back. I don't know if it's going to be active again. Well, it is active. Okay, it did say a targeted.
Yeah, isn't this item like mega broken though? Like, didn't like wasn't this item so bad they had to take it out of the game? Like it was like like it was so good on certain characters, like
It was just
Akali,
a
for
staple.
instance.
It was just a staple for a lot of characters, and yeah, they got rid of it. But I feel like it required skill to use. Once you did it, like with the Kali, you had to use it with certain combos and stuff like that. And when they
Yeah,
took it away from her, I feel like she got worse because she didn't have that combo anymore.
yeah. Okay,
So yeah,
fair enough. And then yeah, role quest. So you were mentioning this. So this is a huge change. So jungle and support have had this basically for a while now. But they are adding it to the ADC mid lane and top lane roles. So to summarize, let me see. Top laners, so we'll start with top lane. Top laners are going to get a longer cooldown version of Summoner Teleport for free on top of the 2 summoners they already chose. If you already took Teleport, instead it'll get stronger, providing a large max health shield on use. In addition to the Summoner spell upgrade, top laners will also receive upfront bonus experience, more experience from future sources, and an increased level cap. I don't know how many levels, it doesn't say. I would assume not more than 2. Like it would be ridiculous if they could get higher than 2 levels off of this personally. But um that's top laners. Mid laners are going to get a free tier 3 boot upgrade like the ones you could buy with feats, as well as an empowered 4-second recall with a cooldown. A few of the boots have had modifications, but look similar to the ones we know from the feats of strength, basically. And then ADCs. So bot laners are going to get a lump sum when they finish their quest, plus increased gold from killing minions, champion kills, and assists for the rest of the game. What will I? And then they said, you might be asking yourself, what will I do with all this gold? Well, you will have a 7th item slot to hold your boots, allowing you to pick up another legendary for even harder ultra late scaling. So having a 7th item slot, by the way, is insane. Like I think ADCs are the appropriate role to give this to, but I don't know. So what are your thoughts on that? I guess overall, like
uh,
that those are the big ones. Junglers and supports are getting a few changes, but it's largely going to be the same as the way they are now,
yeah,
for
because
the
they're
most
they're
part.
too powerful. Those roles are too powerful.
Yes, correct. Right. Yeah.
um, I think personally, especially for top lane and bot lane,
Yeah.
uh, both. top lane and bot laners bitch about each other all the fucking time, and I think this is great. Now everybody can stop bitching. Like you guys get your seventh item, you get to be more powerful.
Dude, we're gonna be real carries, bro.
Yeah,
What do you
and
mean? Like we might be able to, dude. I love this change for the fact that ADCs are gonna actually be able to have the choice of buying a tank item now. You know,
yeah,
because you have room for it now. You know, and I think that is a mega positive change for the health of the role, personally. Um, but I do think though it is interesting. I think even during the game, having that extra slot is big because you can just carry another component, dude. You know, or it gives you extra room for a pink ward or something. You know,
yeah, yeah.
like there's just a lot of use cases where I think it's a very useful thing to have throughout the game. And the fact that we're going to be getting more gold than everybody else just inherently, I think is a positive as well. You know, it's really like typifying the role of being the carry, you know. And I think that's a good change. Mid lane is interesting. I don't know how you feel about this. I feel like they're turning mid lane in like glorified support in some ways.
Well, they turn
Um
into a secondary jungle role.
or
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah, maybe a secondary jungler. Like yeah, they're like a secondary roamer is kind of what it feels like, you
Yeah, I
know.
mean that's usually what a
Um
lot of top mid laners will tell you. You have to roam with your jungler because you essentially are a secondary roamer slash jungler game. Like for laning phase, at least you're that, and then
yeah.
you're supposed to carry your. You're supposed to be either the secondary carry. It's like a flex role. You're either a secondary carry or you're the secondary roamer. You're a secondary split pusher. Like
Yeah.
that's your job as a mid laner.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, do you like
but
that
yeah.
change though? The boots?
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's yes and no. It's gonna be easy for to get back to lane, but it's gonna be also harder to punish people who have bad wave management. So I think they're trying to get rid of that because they're trying. I think they're trying to make the game easier for people to come into, which is
Yeah.
good. And then it's also a bad thing because now you're punishing people who know how to push and manage waves and stuff like that.
Well, the
Which all I do
recall
is push.
too.
Yeah, the recall. I
The
used to time my.
recall, dude, that recall is actually going to be really powerful
Yep.
in a team fight because if you're trying to run away, having a 4 second recall is really short, you know.
Yep.
So you may be able to pull that off in a situation where people are chasing you or something, you know, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's interesting for sure. I do think the top lane change, the extra levels are not to be underestimated. Um, you know,
I
um,
think this is going to be really bad. Not for them, but for us. Because if I get a Mundo who has $20,000, 20 billion HP, and he's level 20, I'm
and
gonna get fucking pissed. Like I just see this going, or I get a
you're
Cassante,
level 11, you know,
yeah,
like
all right, or I get a Cassante with like, you know, 2,000 fucking AD or some shit like that. It's gonna be like,
yeah,
what the fuck, like I don't know.
yeah, yep. I would agree. Um, it's interesting. Just to round it out, junglers are getting a little bit. They're gonna get the PvP smite upgrade that they've gotten in the past, but they're gonna get increased golden XP from large monsters as well as bonus movement speed in the jungle. Which that feels really strong to me.
Yeah, you already get bonus move speed. You pick the blue buff or you pick the blue
So it's
jungle
gonna be
pet.
even more, though.
Yeah, so it's yeah, you're so prepared for Kane to come fucking gank you at one minute now. You
Yeah.
know, It's-
Well, hold on. We'll get there. They said they're also making it harder for non-junglers to steal objectives by increasing their resists and making smite deal more damage. So you should see fewer Lux lasers and Varus arrows stealing objectives next
oh
year.
man,
Yeah. But they said it's still your team's fault if you don't keep the enemy jungler out of the pit, though. So that's interesting. Um, hold on. Oh, here we go. There was one other thing. They're slightly lowering the speed of early game clears to give lane matchups a bit more time to play out uninterrupted. So they are doing something about the early game ganks actually. So that's interesting. And then supports are going to have a new slot exclusively for control wards. They're going to have discounts on those control wards and more passive gold generation so they can do more than just buy a single item before the game ends. So that's it for supports. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Overall, I am actually really excited about a lot of these changes. Personally,
I am too. I
um,
think I think the top lane changes are going to be kind of. I think that's going to be the most overpowered one. I
we'll
can
see.
see somebody saying the bot lane one is going to be crazy, like maybe with
It's
someone
only
like
going to
Kai'Sa.
matter late game for the most
Yeah,
part. You
I
know.
think a lot of like early game champions. I can. This is what I can predict. They're going to start taking a lot of mages
Yeah.
in the bot lane. Like we're going to see a lot
Oh
of
fuck! I
Vigars.
didn't even think about that,
Yeah, bro.
bro.
You're going to see a
Well,
lot of
imagine
Vigars.
Yasuo. Imagine Yasuo with an extra fucking item slot,
I
dude.
mean, that was his original design. He was supposed to
Fuck
be
me, dude.
a fucking melee ADC. That was his original design. He wasn't
Oh,
supposed to
we're
go
gonna
mid
see
lane.
some goofy shit. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because
Yeah,
like it doesn't matter what character you pick; it's about the role you're in. You
yeah.
know.
So you're gonna see a lot of Cassiopeia down there. You're gonna see a lot of
Oh
Ziggs down
man,
there.
nah, bro, dude.
Yeah, bro. We're gonna see a lot of mages down there.
fucking kill
Unless
me.
they do something to the role where if you pick a mage
Yeah,
like that doesn't apply to it, which I
yeah,
can't see them doing.
yeah.
You're gonna Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of. I think we're gonna
Montreal.
see a lot of majors down there. Actually,
Okay,
we could
okay,
see
but
some top laners down there. Could you imagine an ADC Mundo with like a seventh item slot?
fucking kill me.
Yeah, bro.
But no, dude, hold on. Think about it though. Think about Jin with a sixth legendary item. He's gonna be deleting people late game.
Yeah,
Like, that fourth shot's gonna one shot squishies, man. Like I don't know. Like there's gonna be some really interesting stuff the first couple weeks, honestly. Like I think the first 2 week period of this patch is gonna be insane, you know? Like we're gonna see some crazy shit. So I'm probably not gonna touch League this month, more than likely. Well, maybe. I don't know. Probably won't. But I think I'm gonna jump back in when this goes live,
yeah, me
honestly.
too. I'll probably jump in.
Okay. I'm excited about that. This is it's cool. No, I like the ADC changes. I think they're doing what I have been asking. Like I want the carry role to feel like a carry role, you know? Like it's you know, I don't know. It's like cuz like late game ADCs are powerful, but they're not that much more powerful than other roles, you know? And I think that pendulum needs to swing a little bit further, you know, than it does, and I think this will more than likely accomplish that. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, to your point though, we're gonna see some goofy things in norms, dude. Yeah, you're gonna see the Mundo bottom or the set bottom or like fucking Camille or something. I don't know, bro. Oh my god. Or it's gonna be Vigar, bro. Vigar bot. Oh my god, that's gonna be a nightmare. 6 item Vigar, dude. Oh man, good times. We'll be in for it. All right, that's all we got for the league stuff. To move into our last story here, which is Circana numbers for October 2025. Um, so largely following the year for the most part here, in most ways. So total video game sales 4.885 billion this year versus 4.742 billion last year. That's a 3% increase. Video game content, so this is game sales, DLC microtransactions, etc. 4.359 billion this year versus 4.296 billion last year. That's a 1% increase. And then video game hardware, 351 million this year versus 358 million last year, 36% increase. And then video game accessories, 176 million this year versus 188 million last year, 7% decrease there. And then for the year to date, we have a 2% increase for total games, video game sales, like everything. And then for content, 1% increase, hardware, 21% increase, and then video game accessories, 6% decrease year over year there. Um, Same as usual, mostly been fairly flat year to year here, so not a lot of growth necessarily. Top 20 games in October 2025 in the US. Number 1, Battlefield 6. Number 2, Pokemon Legends ZA. Jesus Christ. Number 3, Ghosts of Yote. Number 4, NBA 2K26. Number 5, EA Sports FC 26. Number 6, Madden NFL 26. Number 7, Outer Worlds 2. Number 8, Little Nightmares 3. Number 9, Digimon Story Time Stranger. Number 10, Borderlands 4. Number 11, Ninja Gaiden 4. Number 12, EA Sports College Football 26. Number 13, Super Mario Galaxy plus Super Mario Galaxy 2. 14, Final Fantasy Tactics, The Evil East Chronicles. 15, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. 16, Silent Hill F. 17, Minecraft. 18, Helldivers 2. 19, Grand Theft Auto 5. And then 20, Red Dead Redemption 2. Anything jumping out to you there, Montreal?
I was surprised Ninja Gaiden was on that list.
Yeah, number 11. That's a good showing.
Because people actually do want action games.
Yeah, there's a couple weird ones on here that I find hard to explain. Digimon Story Time Stranger was at number 9 for the last 2 months now. It's been number 9, like in the same spot. It was number 9 last month as well. That was also true for number 12, EA Sports College Football 26. It was 12 last month as well. And then also Red Dead Redemption 2 was 20 for last month and this month as well. So that's kind of weird that we have 3 games that all did that. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, I mean that's another game that they got snubbed was Digimon Time Stranger. Like people love that game, so I mean obviously the sales reflect that.
That kind of game is never gonna be in the Game Awards, bro.
But it's so it actually was a really good RPG from what I heard. So
yeah. Well, Pokemon Legends ZA being ranked 2. I mean, I'm not hearing great things about this game, so I can't. It's just like, dude, you guys are just eating up the slop. Just eating it up. So you're gonna keep getting it. They're gonna keep giving you slop until you stop buying it.
Yeah, but Pokemon is for sure.
No, not Digimon. I'm not saying Digimon slop. I'm saying Pokemon ZA slop, sloppy slop game. Battlefield 6, Montreal. How are you feeling? Do you think it's gonna outsell Call of Duty?
Yes, because I heard Call of Duty is like really bad this year.
Yeah.
Have you watched the videos and people playing it?
No.
Like really bad. It's really bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Like multiplayer is bad, or like the single player is bad, or both?
People were talking about the single player. There is no single player. You have to play it in co-op. And if you play it in co-op, you have to. If you play it single player, you have to join the lobby and then close your lobby, and then you can play it. But the game acts like there are 4, like the story, the way it progresses and everything during the cutscenes. You can be playing by yourself, but then a cutscene will happen, and then your other 3 squad mates are there.
Yeah.
There are bosses that look like fucking Destiny bosses in there.
Okay.
There's one boss where you have to call in a tactical knife, like a giant knife literally comes out of the sky and hits someone in the head. Yeah, it's crazy shit. It's not.
Yeah, well, isn't there like the part of the game like there's a lot of dream sequences or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of people are like not too happy with the game. So
gotcha.
And it's just
I'm very interested, dude. Battlefield selling more than Call of Duty would be a major fucking coup for Electronic Arts. Like that has never happened, and it's never been close to happening ever. So that would be a big deal if that happened. So we'll keep an eye on that next couple months. So 2025 year-to-date sales, top 20 games for the year. Number 1, Battlefield 6. Number 2, NBA 2K26. 3, Monster Hunter Wilds, still hanging on there, dude. It's crazy how many copies this game sold when it first came out. It's weird.
Yeah.
4, Borderlands 4. 5, EA Sports College Football 26. Number 6, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, which is crazy. 7, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. 8, Madden NFL 26. 9, MLB The Show 25. 10, Ghost of Yote. 11, Elden Ring Night Rain. 12, EA Sports FC 26. 13, WWE 2K25. 14, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. 15, Forza Horizon 5. 16, Minecraft. 17, Split Fiction. 18, EA Sports MVP Bundle. 19, NBA 2K25. 20, Helldivers 2. So, um, not much difference there. The biggest thing is like Gosiote jumped up the list pretty significantly from 18 to 10. Otherwise, yeah, mostly the same games we've seen the last couple months. So, and obviously Battlefield jumped all the way to the top. So that's a big seller this year. How many copies has it sold? Is it? I know it's north of 10 million. Is it over 15?
I actually don't know. I haven't been keeping up, unfortunately, with it.
Let me see what the latest numbers are. Six sales. Sold over 7 million copies in the first 3 days. Okay. And the last thing we heard was over 10 million. So, okay. So we don't actually know beyond that right now. But still impressive nonetheless for EA. All right. Well, Montreal, that's all we had for news. Let's move on to guess the Metascore. We guessed Metroid Prime 4, which has finally come out. And this game is officially sitting at an 80 right now. And what were the numbers? There we go, Macho. Man, you the winner, bro. You guessed an 8.0 straight up.
Oh,
I
really?
went 8.5. So you're taking the cake on this one. Um yeah, I mean, I haven't heard a whole lot about this game.
I heard
Um
it's been like pretty negative, actually.
really? From the fan base or
Yeah, from the fan base.
okay.
Apparently, like a lot of people don't like the sand desert section of the game, and because that's like the whole, it's like
Yeah.
the adventure field of the game.
Yeah.
And apparently they locked music behind a $30 amiibo.
No way. Are you
Yeah,
serious?
yeah, they locked the music. So like, I think there's certain music that plays like when you're driving in the sand, and they lock the music behind that amiibo or whatever the
Wait, so
case may be.
nothing plays if you don't have the amiibo?
In the sand part, I think that's what
I
I saw a
see.
tweet about.
Okay.
Uh, but I can't confirm or deny that. But people were saying like they locked the music behind a $30 amiibo or whatever. So
Yeah. Okay. That sounds like Nintendo. It's hilarious. All right, well, Montreal, that's all we had today. We ended up getting through the news a lot quicker than I thought we would. Is there anything else you want to talk about that we didn't hit today?
nope, that's it. Yeah, so Metroid Prime 4 players have found out that there is music in the game during the desert bike travel, but it's
Mhm.
locked behind a $30 amiibo. The figure plays the
Wow.
music and grants a shield that blocks up to 99 damage and fully restores your health once a day.
Yeah. What the hell? That's weird. I don't know why they do things like that. It's so ticky tacky. Um, it's just like put it in the game, bro. Just put it in the game.
How
You
would
know.
you lock desert music? That's like playing Ocarina of Time, and then the Hyrule Field music is just like, oh, you gotta get the fucking Leak Amiibo to play the Hyrule music. Like,
It'd be miserable. Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time. That music's legendary, dude. Like,
yeah,
holy
just
shit.
imagine that. Like, imagine
Yeah.
that being locked. And like people,
Yeah.
some of the Nintendo fanboys like on the fucking Reddits are defending it right now. They're like, oh well, it's Nintendo or whatever. Like, I don't fucking know, man. Like,
How are they defending it? What is there to defend? It's I don't know.
someone said you can unlock the Amiibo benefits without paying anything. Those who wrote the article didn't get very far in the game. Okay, I guess, man. Yeah, or you can unlock that feature once you get the 100%. Why would I?
Wait, you have to play the whole so you play the whole game without the music and then you get the
Okay, yeah, that's what they're defending right now, right there. That's what they're doing, man. That's Nintendo for you. That's Nintendo fanboys for you.
They're such dude, they're crazy. People are
That's why
crazy,
Nintendo
bro.
can get away with what they get away with, right
I
there.
know, no, you're right. You're totally right, man. Nah, bro. It's fucking ridiculous. Like how do you defend that? I don't understand. Oh my god. All right. Anyways. All right. Well, Montreal, thank you for joining me. Glad to be back doing shows again. So, guys, if you like this episode, please like the show, review the show, and subscribe to the show, whatever feed you are listening to it on. And please subscribe to us on YouTube. If you'd like to send us questions, you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com, and we will answer it on the show. So we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will see you next week.